Yeah, CRL Worlds is this weekend. South America RLCS is this weekend. So there's still a lot of really cool Rocket League to enjoy. But why wait for that? Let's get into ones in the meantime. Mawkzy vs Oski. This is a real banger matchup on paper. Two players with extremely different styles. I expect Mawkzy to be the king of the ground game in this matchup, and I expect Oski to be Lord of the Skies, as already Mawkzy showing us just how much you can do with not much in ones. Faking a 50-50, chipping the ball over the top of Oski. It actually looked like a bot game just for a second there. It looked like a bronze goal, but it's actually a really high level play there by Mawkzy, hiding behind the ball and chipping it over Oski, who wanted a 50-50. Didn't get one. Oski flips away from the play. Can't actually get any boost pads on his flip back there. Bit of a mistake. Would have definitely preferred to flip over a couple of pads. And as a result, Mawkzy backs him up into the net. But good save there by Oski on the follow-up. That second save was key. He didn't give Mawkzy any space to turn around and chased in the entire length of the field for the demo. That's really all you can hope for when you're defending with not a lot of boost against a 100 boost opponent. You just want to try and force a position where you can advance, close the distance between yourself and the ball before they can turn around and threaten another shot. If you can do that, then you put yourself in a really great spot. Look at this sneaky play coming out of Oski now. He came out the blind spot there from Mawkzy. Mawkzy easily able to demo him on that landing and didn't waste any time setting up that open net. 2-1. Oski, I think the player in this matchup at the moment who's got to switch up the kickoff in some way, shape or form. I don't expect him to have as deep of a kickoff repertoire as Mawkzy does. You know, even if Mawkzy is going to lose the occasional kickoff possession, it's so rare to get a kickoff goal against this guy because he is just so quick to recover with the wave dashes. Both players picking up pretty good demos in each other. We're getting a bit of a role reversal from the first goal Oski scored, where he's trying to back up Mawkzy into the net, and it's Mawkzy who gets a good enough save to continue chasing him afterwards. As we go into a bit more of an end-to-end play, Oski from the ground ties the game. And both players had a couple of cracks at flicks here at each other. Oski the first one to sneak one through. Dodge into the ball there. Actually, Oski with the wave dash recovery. This is good to see from the player who's obviously less known for his one's ability. Pre-flip pop there from Mawkzy. Actually sent the ball too high for Oski to really go for. And a pretty wicked pre-jump there from Oski. Mawkzy not going to fall for that kind of play, but he didn't get anything working his way, despite the fact that he saw the pre-jump. Well, the fake pre-jump, I should say. It wasn't a real one. From the Englishman, or dual national English-Polish player who prefers to use the English flag. That is where he's lived for, I believe, the best part of, I think, probably 12 years of his life, if I recall. I think he told me, or I think he said on stream before, that he moved to England when he was 3. So he can only remember life in England, but I think he was in Poland before that. Mawkzy going to get his 1-goal lead back. They were just inside the first half of the game here. Oski so far looking good in the matchup. We saw plenty of Mawkzy matches in the Gamers Let Borders 1v1. Well, it was a crew battle, of course, but he played all the 1v1s for his team. Juicers. It's been rumored, I don't know if this is true, but I saw on social media that the substitute players are not going to actually be at the LAN at Gamers Let Borders. So Mawkzy helping Juicers qualify, but I don't know if he's actually going to be there. That would be a shame if he's not, to compete against the best in the world. Yeah, nothing really getting announced too early about Gamers Let Borders crew battles, so we're just gonna have to wait patiently for new information to come out. I'll be first to let you guys know as soon as I find anything out about it officially. The 1-flip reset goal for Oski. Mawkzy tries one of his own. He doesn't even get the possession off the play, never mind forcing Oski to turn around. But look at that for a counter-attack. Mawkzy completely dissects him and slams a goal in across the other end of the field. That's why it's a bit risky to shoot back post in 1v1. If you just run into an interception, your goal is briefly open. Oski going to try and tie it with a kickoff goal, and he does. Now this is actually a really big deal because Mawkzy, the guy who's more known for his ones gameplay, or at least grinding ones, You'd expect him to be the one to score kickoff goals and take a bunch of kickoff possessions to start at this game. Kind of clued us into that expectation, but not anymore. It's very back and forth, and speaking of back and forth, we're getting one at either end. This is a more rare one. Oski actually losing a direct kickoff goal against the wave dash recovery kickoff. So I think Oski really messed it up there. You shouldn't be losing direct kickoff goals that you can't contest against players who are using their wave dash to recover. But that's what's happened here. What a save. Oski denies the 2-goal lead, pre-jumps to deny the 2-goal lead again, and now threaten an equalizer at the other end of the field, but he decides to just go for the first time shot. Oski thinking about the early challenge here. Mawkzy saw him coming. Free flips into a flip reset position. Not really able to get it. Now, I'm surprised at the moment, and I'm actually really happy to see that both players have pretty evenly matched each other in terms of where they want this game to be played. I thought Mawkzy was going to be sticking to the ground a lot more, trying to 50-50 and trying to dribble his way to victory, but he has been just as willing to go off walls and into the sky as Oski has, and hey, it's working pretty well. Mawkzy not messing around today. I love the snap that he's got on his movement. He is threatening on every single play. He's not taking too long to set shots up and giving Oski time to line up his challenges. He really is moving with conviction and making Oski's life difficult. But I've also got to give credit to Oski. He has been just as deadly on the ground as Mawkzy has. Both players extremely evenly matched in game number 1, but the more clinical player has been the Frenchman. And with less than a minute to go, he's looking to make this a 3-goal game. Oski not interested in going that route. He's got to somehow get his hands back on the ball here, or he will be losing this game either way. Mawkzy's got full control at the moment. Wanted a double reset. Just going to use that second one to send the ball sideways, buying himself time to get mid-boost and defend the following play from Oski. He's got a reset of his own. Top shelf shot will put him within 1 with 22 seconds left. Now that was always going to be a dangerous position for Mawkzy to defend. That's why possession play is the key in the closing stages. I'll tell you what, Oski might be able to sneak another one in. He can! And Mawkzy has actually just lost the lead to a kickoff goal. What on earth is that? Mawkzy way too side on to the ball here. Definitely some mistakes in the kickoff by both players, leading to direct kickoff goals being scored. Mawkzy, I think, should be able to influence the play on this one. Trying to get the ball moving, trying to get his car moving, more importantly, to get away from the demo. But now Oski, likewise, both players actually threatening demos and bumps in the closing seconds. Mawkzy won't be too happy with this. Another Oski aerial play with no time left on the clock. And he does well, gets goal side, puts in a strong aerial challenge and sends us into overtime. He probably wanted a back wall bump. I expect that's why he was reacting in the quick chat. Oh, look at this. Oh my! Oski messes up the initial kickoff goal. Jumped too early, but then takes off in reverse to go for the backboard rebound anyway. And Mawkzy did not see that one coming. Insane coming out of Oski. He had no boost there. Mawkzy knew that because the kickoff has just happened. He knows that Oski is boost starved, or at least extremely low on boost in that position. But he did not think that after the initial miss on what was just a clear-cut kickoff goal to the top corner, that Oski was just going to go for it a second time. Unbelievable. Great comeback here by Oski at the end. I was just about to say before Oski pulled out that ridiculous goal. Mawkzy and Twitch chat saying focus now. Okay, Mawkzy, turn off the Twitch turn off the Twitch stream and get focused. You got this. But anyway, like I was saying now twice before losing my train of thought, Mawkzy wanted a back wall bump, didn't get one, and he quick chatted no problem, I think it was. Maybe on his screen it looked like a demo. Should have occurred. But it's been pointed out many times by, I think, Rocket Science Halfway Dead on Twitter. You know, many times in the past, a pro player has tweeted their POV from a replay of them supposedly demoing someone, but not getting the demo to work. And it always gets explained the same way, and that is that the server is usually slightly different. Oh, great demo, and this is going to be a save as well. But yeah, the server's usually running a slightly different position than everybody's individual client. Another great save. Oski at one end, Mawkzy at the other. What a phenomenal match this is turning out to be. So Mawkzy puts himself up by the same goal lead he had inside the last minute of game number 1. I'm sure you guys can all relate whenever you get one of those, whenever you get the sparks to fly. Every time you nearly bump someone, nearly demo them, there's sparks and no demo. You know, it happens a lot when you are trying to bump someone up the wall. You can often lose supersonic when you drive from the ground and then up the wall. That curve can cause you to lose speed, and so can vertical movement. Mawkzy actually went for a floor pinch there, some kind of half volley, but must have failed to land the reset. He definitely looked like he was trying to shoot the ball. You can see his car air rolling forward at the moment. That would have been impact with the dodge being available. Oh, that's so speedy by Oski. Manages to get space to turn around and completely destroys the shot as well. Great takeoff, almost a full 360-degree air roll in the setup for that one. If you're wondering why is Oski air rolling like that, you know, most of the air rolls that you'll see from professional players, whether it's an aerial or an air roll shot, whenever they're kind of wrapping their car around the ball like this, it's to create an angle that wouldn't otherwise be possible with the takeoff that they went for. You know, when you're air rolling like that, it just looks like freestyling at times, but there is a reason for it. It gives you a chance to approach the ball from a different direction, and it gives you sometimes more power when you arrive at the ball with the intended shooting angle. Oski not too chuffed to this one. Not much he could do. He had to go for the demo, but he ended up own goaling afterwards as well. Mawkzy not sure what Oski's putting full stops in chat for, but we can see quite clearly from the spectator POV. Explo, thanks for the prime, appreciate that, man. Just realised my cup of water is completely empty. I'm devastated. I really hope I remember after this game to really quickly run to the sink and refill that. I'll be fine for now. Explo, yeah, cheers to the prime, buddy. So much bigger advantage now for Mawkzy. I expect to see him trying to frustrate Oski after losing that first game. I expect to see control, possession being prioritized as an attempt to close out game number 2. Oski flicking with far too low of an angle from close range. Not going to cause any problems for Mawkzy. I'm definitely surprised to see Mawkzy going for big aerial plays like this with a 4-goal lead, but he must be feeling confident that he can add to this scoreline. But he's conceded possession and conceded a goal after leaving Oski with a ton of space and not being able to grab 100 boosts and the retreat back to his net either. I mean, that's kind of what happens when you go for high-risk plays. Yeah, you might turn this into a 5-1 game, but you could also turn it into, or rather a 6-1 game, but it could also be 5-2. So technically a 2-goal swing there as Mawkzy concedes after overextending, but he's not overextended it on this play. That's a much better bailout from an aerial, just leaning back, absorbing the challenge of Oski, and Oski making the mistake that is pretty hard to not make in that position. That's landing too far away from the goal. You always have to wonder, or you always have to think about where you're going to land after making an aerial challenge. It's always better to aerial challenge sideways so you can land on the wall, or aerial challenge heading back towards your own backboard or even into the opponent backboard. This is a perfect example. Oski quite comfortable aerial challenging from that angle because he knows he's going to quickly land after the fact. That's a midfield play that he's going to go floating through the air for 2 or 3 seconds in. He's not going to do it, but because there's a sidewall right behind the ball, Oski quite happy to go for the mid-air challenge. So still 3 goals in it. Oski's actually going to briefly pause here. Mawkzy didn't notice. I'm surprised he didn't check because that was an opportunity to stop the ball on the goal line, if only for a few seconds. It looked like Oski did. Yeah, he did start to move after after a while. Mawkzy is old enough to be a pro. He's 16, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody in chat probably will be able to correct me if I'm wrong there. So absolutely no boost for Oski. Nice of Mawkzy to leave him the mid. Of course, he didn't mean to do that. Wanted to take everything, even the small pads. Oski catches the pre-jump out and shoots underneath. It's a very good shot selection here by Oski. He knows that Mawkzy's going to jump for this, so instead of shooting top shelf, where Mawkzy's definitely going to pre-jump towards. He just slowly, calmly slots the ball lower underneath the likely save angle. He's definitely not tiny. Definitely not 27. I think he's 16. That's going to be another goal, surely. Yes, it is. Look like Mawkzy might be able to get back in post pinch it. He says what? He probably feels like he did. Nice shot off the wall from Oski. Mawkzy almost definitely pinched that on his screen based on his reaction in chat. But as I said earlier, you know, the game client that everybody's playing on does its best to correctly predict where the cars are, where the ball is, based on the server side. But in these very, very small margins, it can be different. Good read by Mawkzy. Oski couldn't really make up his mind if he wanted to shoot that one, or if he wanted to wait for a pre-jump. And in his indecision, he got his offense stopped short of the net. They looked him up, he's 15. Okay, fair enough. He's in close calls, really? Did Mawkzy play in close calls this time around? I didn't get a chance to look at the full team list for the EU close calls last weekend, because I was mostly paying attention to the Middle East stream. Chat infos, says Mawkzy. I don't think that is supposed to be a message for Oski, who's written a question mark immediately. Just like in game number 1, we've got a 2-goal lead with 45 seconds to go. I'm pretty sure this is the exact scoreline that we had in the last game, but now it's different. Mawkzy sneaks in a half volley on a bounce dribble to send this game on a different trajectory and probably tie the series. All he needs is one kickoff possession out of the next 3, and he should be able to close it out. Let's see what Oski's got planned for him. He's got to go for something a little bit different here. Well, look at that. It's Mawkzy who switches it up, just directly half flips onto the boost, and Oski gives him the ball. Oski doesn't look like he's too prepared for that half flip kickoff that Mawkzy's doing. I've got to say, I'm a big fan of the half flip onto the boost these days in 1v1. Great save. That's a pull shot save by Mawkzy. Oski was landing on him, but Mawkzy knocked him into saving his own shot. Oski's still going for this. Oh, he's messed up though. I think that'll probably be game over. He still wanted the counter-attack, knowing that with 11 or 10 seconds left, he had a chance, but that miss sealed his fate. We're going to game number 3 all tied. And I am very quickly going to be right back and refill my glass of water that's been sitting empty beside me since I started the stream. Be right back in a second, guys. Alright, we're back just in time to catch the first kickoff. Mawkzy almost getting bulldozed as he tried to absorb the initial impact. Oski nearly gets the bar down flick, but not quite. Mawkzy's boost management excellent on this play. Oski going to keep the pressure up. He's started with a deficit in both games so far. I'm sure he would like to know what it's like to lead early on, and this is as good of a chance as he's going to have to lead. Off the wall play doesn't start off all that well for Oski, but it finishes strong. Oh my goodness. He got way in front of the ball after he reset on it. Not a problem for Oski. Wave dashes to snipe the bottom corner at the far side of the goal. That is ridiculous from Oski. Many players, I think the majority of players at this level, would have bailed on that after landing so far in front of the ball with the reset, but not Oski. And he's going to continue with yet another reset play, which I don't think went with plan A, and score regardless. So the reset secured. Kind of made it look like he was going to pre-flip into a shot there. And I think Mawkzy got confused. He saw Oski wasn't completely flat with his wheels to the ground. And I think that probably made him think that Oski was planning on flipping into the ball. But as you can see, that was not the case. Oski getting a third. Just getting a little tap onto Mawkzy there as he was trying to speed flip towards the boost in the corner. Mawkzy was not able to recover. By far the best start we've seen from Oski up until now, and he's going to add to that with a devastating ball chase challenge. Mawkzy thought surely with a 3-goal lead, Oski's going to fake a challenge here. Surely he's going to shadow. Surely he's going to sit between the ball and the goal line. Wait for me to do something. Oski says, no, that's not what I'm going to do. I'm actually just going to drive into the ball. So, sucks to be you. Sucks to be you guessing the wrong thing. But this time Mawkzy guesses right as he shoots to the left. Perfect top corner shot as well. Oski expected a low 50-50. You can see that he was diving down as Mawkzy approached him in close range. Perfect wave dash recovery kickoff there for Mawkzy. Hardly any time between the initial jump and the landing. Quite a lot of time before he'll be ready to defend this shot. Oski got the flip reset a little bit late. Had to rush to use it in time. Now he's got a bit of space to work with. Oski gets in the way of the near post approach. Nearly snipes the counter-attack, but what a save by Mawkzy. Oski threatening a double, had the recovery on the back wall like we were talking about earlier. It's not just challenges, it's pretty much any time you're committing for a ball. If there's a wall behind your angle of commitment, it gives you a faster way back into the play. That's what Oski's trying to do there. Just go for a shot, and if it doesn't work, then at least he's got the recovery as a backup plan. And eventually, after all is said and done, Oski does get the 4-goal lead back. Your friend Mark is texted 26 for tier 1. Welcome back to the channel, man. Much appreciated. Let's see if Mawkzy has got it in him to make a comeback, the likes of which we're seeing from Oski in game number 1. Does Oski really play 1v1? I don't know, actually. Don't know if Oski plays any rank 1s. I've never seen him really high rated in the leaderboard. Yeah, we'll definitely have to ask him later. Remind me later to ask him, and I'll see if I can find out. So I don't know. I really don't know what Oski's 1v1 history is. I just know that we got him in the Just Win tournament, and he was absolutely ridiculous. Finishing second place to Jaria's, eliminating Jack. Obviously that was best of 1s, but still. But yeah, he's clearly played 1s before. I just don't think he grinds 1s. He's not one of those players who, you know, puts in games consistently and just sits in the top 20. You've seen him top 30 range. Yeah, that makes sense. It's clear that he's played 1s. I mean, there's no way that somebody's this good without ever playing the game mode before. Oh my goodness. He's actually scored that. Mawkzy had to keep that out. The double tap off the sidewall from Oski. He's really just showing how to recover in 1v1 and how to stay active in every single play. This is the guy that you want to watch if you want to know what to go for and what not to go for. Mawkzy having to settle for a possession play, watching his aerial go a bit too far wide of the net, and he couldn't make up his mind whether he's going to go across the box or just back into the corner. Did neither, and he gets demoed for his trouble. 4 goals the difference once again. Yeah, Mawkzy just needed to make up his mind a little bit faster there. Either dive up the wall, get out of the way of the dangerous demo, or get that ball moving across the goal line before Oski can get there and intersect it at the line that it is most dangerous. Mawkzy going for a goal in reverse there. Oski more than ready for it. Always threatening the resets. Every single air dribble he goes for. Look at this. Oski actually just parking in front of Mawkzy here. A little bit of a parallel parking maneuver. Not an effective one though. As Mawkzy eventually bumps him out of the way, and he says, Oski, let's wager something. Wow. That is something I didn't expect a player to say when they're down 6 goals to 3 in game 3 of a best of 5. I mean, everything is pointing towards this being a 2-1 lead for Oski going into game 4, unless Mawkzy can really get his act together at the end of this one. He's trying to get those mechanics warmed up. The wicked wave dash in the wall. I think Oski might go for it, well, especially at the end of this game. Oski asked for this series, and Mawkzy said yes. I think Oski's probably just, well, next time he can type. Obviously he's been playing ever since he last typed. I think as soon as this play or this game is over, Oski will probably accept, and we might get a little bit of a wager going on here. Certainly after, well, you'd expect it, after this play goes in. 7-3. Oski does look like he's typing there. Oh, he says, sorry, but I don't gamble. Okay, interesting. Interesting. He's not going to gamble on himself. He's not going to gamble at all. What does mean gamble, says Mawkzy. Even though it's free money, says Oski. Yeah, Mawkzy really becoming one of the most active text chatters in the scene. Seems to be quite good at getting in underneath the skin of his opponent, and well, maybe not under their skin, but certainly gets in their head. Mawkzy says, I swear I'm gonna make you regret this. You're not scoring one more goal. Hey, that's a bold statement. I think probably a little bit too bold. Oski's probably scoring here. Yeah. Disaster for Mawkzy. Next game, he says. Oh, he meant next game. Got it. Okay, next game. That doesn't count. I don't know about next game either. I could definitely see Oski scoring another goal. He's going to change car. Alright, let's see what Mawkzy's got in store for us for game 4 here. I think he might have set expectations a little bit too high, if you ask me. I think personally, I'm expecting Oski to score a goal. He really is just experimenting with what you can say that will get his opponent to lose focus. It's quite interesting. Everyone knows it's for the content. Don't give it away in the chat, Mawkzy. There's probably somebody annoyed at you there, and now they're saying, "Oh, let's see it. Let's see if Mawkzy can avoid conceding for an entire game against Oski, who's in form. Clearly, I think both players are actually pretty in form at the moment. The thing I've enjoyed most about this matchup is, I said at the very start that we're looking at two players who... Mawkzy's called him a kickoff merchant. We're looking at two players who have very different styles of play, and historically that's an accurate statement, but today it's not been all that accurate at all, as Mawkzy's been extremely confident with his aerial plays, and Oski's been very confident with his ground game. And, they are extremely adept at both, so it's not a surprise to see that, but... against a dangerous aerial player like Oski, it is great to see the confidence Mawkzy's got in his own aerial game, and likewise against such a solid ground game player as Mawkzy, it is wonderful to see Oski backing himself in that aspect of the game as well. Such confidence these days from all the young guns in the scene. Mawkzy trying to threaten a bump there. Oski saw it coming. He's trying to catch the back boost on spawn. Has to wait a while here. There it is. And that's a better flick from Mawkzy, but look at Oski's recovery. He just, like a cat here, darting into the goal and back out again. Mawkzy quickly turns in the midfield and puts in the opening goal. Oski making a bit of a mistake with the flick after a really good recovery on the top of his crossbar. The underside of his crossbar, I should say. Very low effort bumps there from Mawkzy, but also very low commitment bumps. He didn't have to take himself out of the game to do that. Oski almost double tapping into his own net instead. Double tapping away from his own net. It's just unbelievable, the stuff that these guys are going for. Defensive double taps in ones becoming more and more common with every passing month these days. And if anybody's just tuned in, Mawkzy at the end of game number 3 told Oski that he won't score another goal, and well, after Oski did score one more goal in that third game, which wasn't consequential, the game was definitely over. Mawkzy clarified that, or Mawkzy, I should say, clarified that he meant this game. He meant Oski's not going to score in game 4, and he's wrong. Oski has scored. Just a bit too greedy there in the back corner. Mawkzy just went on the outside of the ball, and just for a moment is all it took for Oski to win a 50-50 towards the net. Now the kickoff has gone Oski's way. Oh dear, Mawkzy's really fallen apart here. And I think he might have got inside his own head here. He'll be annoyed about how he conceded, because he didn't need to do that. He got a bit greedy. He could have just sat behind the ball. He could have just played it safe, but he tried to go on the outside edge of the ball, threaten the infield dribble. And Oski dunked on him and then scored a kickoff goal as well. He's really trying to get Oski to put money on the table here. And Oski, I think, is not going to do it. That'd be a sign of weakness mentally. As Oski's clearly got everything going for himself right now in the matchup. You know, looking ahead to Gamers Without Borders. Well, rather, looking ahead to future crew battles, I should say. Don't know if Team Liquid are in Gamers Without Borders, as the other teams haven't been announced yet, but Oski, such a beast in a one-off 1v1. That, you know, Team Liquid are actually another one of those teams that have to be talked about in the crew battle format. You got Oski for ones, you got any combination of the 3 players in 2v2, and then you've got the now reliable 3v3 team. Oh, Oski narrowly misses the direct goal and also narrowly misses the double tap with the flip reset shot. He didn't qualify. Okay, so they played close quals and didn't make it. I see. A closed qualifier for Gamers Without Borders, or not closed, I mean open qualifiers for Gamers Without Borders was just 3v3, and then the closed qualifier was in fact crew battle. So they lost in straight up 3s, which is unfortunate. Oski says he's good. Mawkzy says this level of chase is something else. What does it mean I'm good? I don't understand anything. I wonder if Mawkzy doesn't really understand it. Do you think Mawkzy's trolling him here? Do you think he's trying to get him to type right as the kickoff is happening? I can see it though. I can see that being confusing one. You know, you say put money on the table, somebody says I'm good. It could just be referring to I'm good at air dribbles in Oski's case. Good at flip resets as well. Good at conceding counterattacks after overextending. Not so much, but definitely this time. Mawkzy up by 1. Still has control of game number 4 for the most part. Oski's asking, is the server lagging? I didn't see anything personally, but I did play some ranked earlier on today and had about 3 laggy servers out of about 30 games or something like that. Yeah, Oski with 8 ping asking, is the server lagging? That's quite ironic, but you know, there's more to connections than just ping. Oh, that's a perfect flick. That is an absolutely perfect flick from Mawkzy. Didn't have a lot of wiggle room on that one. Quite close range, just lets loose right at the edge of the box and sends it in off the bar. Had a pretty fun ranked session today with Thomas Smash and Smellsworth. We were absolutely farming. I think we went at the end of it all 20, what was it, 25 wins, 8 losses or something. We played for ages, but huge win streak. Unreal. Almost hit Grand Champ 2. So we're climbing. We're not done. We're gonna keep climbing. We actually had a ton of fun. I mentioned earlier on today that I like the half flip kickoff in the diagonal in 1v1 these days. I think it's a really good one to throw into your repertoire. But we were in fact utilizing that in 3v3. I know it's just ranked games, but it seemed like a really, really good kickoff. I don't know if you guys have ever tried it in your 3s games, but every single, I'm not even exaggerating, like let's say, well, maybe not every single one if we forgot to do it sometimes, but let's say 80% of kickoffs, we didn't even fake it. We just left the ball and it worked. Because, well, I could show you guys later what the strats are if you really want to know in more detail, but something interesting to try out. Just half flip onto the big boost instead of going for the kickoff in 3v3, and then have your guy who spawned at the back just cheat towards the player in the middle and challenge him if they try and dribble. Hold on a second here. I thought this game was looking like a done deal, but Oski's really stepping up in the closing minute and he is putting up a real threat of a comeback. How is he going to keep the ball up in the air with just 12 boosts? That's going to be tough, and it's not going to be possible. Game 5 is where this series will be decided. Late comebacks have been threatened by Oski in multiple games now. He's really, really good at them, it would seem. Mawkzy, the player who appears to need a better start to try and keep Oski under control. I'll do a now post show match when I can. I talked to him today actually, he said he didn't have time, but maybe tomorrow, maybe another day this week, we'll see. I'll definitely feature him as soon as I can. He's been obviously quite busy playing 3s. And I was pretty busy casting other events as well as RLCS and watch parties recently, but now I've got a bit more time to do show matches. Don't need to preserve my voice for midweek tournament casts. Oski. Oh my goodness. Is that the best save of all time? I think that might be a slight exaggeration, but not by much. That was unbelievable. How did Oski save that? It looked like he turned the wrong way after spawning as well. I'm pretty sure he turned the wrong way. I don't know if he was pre-turning on the respawn, but he had to cover some distance to get to that one. Yeah, I'll try and remember to save the replay there. I've clicked the button to pop up the box at the end of the game. Now we've got Mawkzy just evading a demo. Decides to double jump, pop the ball into the bar. Gets Oski to jump and use a bit of his boost, but gives him time to grab 100. Oski manages to intersect the aerial attack. Mawkzy was looking to go for a backboard double there after he saw Oski coming towards him. He's given him the full pitch to dribble with. Oski up by 1. A minute and 14 seconds into the game. I'm not sure if Mawkzy pressured the ball enough on that last play defensively. Really did give a lot of space. He grabbed the back corner boost and then went a little bit further back as well. He says this save was insane, really. So not just what a save, quick chat from Mawkzy there, but after eventually conceding, he compliments Oski again on what was a next level save. One that we definitely have to take a look at once this series is over. 14 boost for Oski. Just wants a 50-50 or a little bit of distance to play with here. Mawkzy was trying to keep that ball away from the mid boost, but Oski's come away the better of the two players here. I like what Mawkzy's doing. He's trying to cut in field there to deny Oski time to grab the big boost pad at the side of the field, but unfortunately for Mawkzy, he didn't realize that Oski was just going to challenge. He didn't realize he was just going to go straight into the ball. So I like the idea, but the execution let him down a little bit. No, he's not going to get let down anything on this play. Oski going for a run ahead demo. Yeah, he really committed quite hard for that one. Turning to the right at the last second put him too far away from the play to recover. Credit to Mawkzy, saw him coming. What a recovery. Oski shrugs off a bump, and I think that one might have triggered Mawkzy a little bit based on what we've just seen in the chat. Yeah, he won't believe what just happened here. He messed up his wave dash, bumped Oski, and probably feels like he's just gone and helped his opponent reach the ball a little bit faster. He's only got himself to blame there, though. That was just a messed up wave dash. But he's got the kickoff goal right back. This one, definitely a mistake from Oski. He just leaves the ball, goes for the mid boost. Can't be doing that. He didn't really know that Mawkzy was going to vacate the area. He was just hoping, against all hope, really. So Mawkzy into the back corner. Oski dove again. Now he conceded once this game from looking for a back corner demo, and now he's conceded a second time looking for a wall demo. I mean, he's really just throwing himself at the play there, hoping to get either the ball or Mawkzy, but the thought of recovering afterwards, not really being considered enough in my opinion. Oh, look at this. Mawkzy's up by 1 now. And Oski is just getting completely baited on every single kickoff here. Mawkzy just waits for Oski to flip past him and then walks the ball into the net. Oski's got to make sure to get a better contact on the ball there, or just not flip away from the play entirely. Now that's a lot better. Now he's thinking about what he's doing. He's not just going to concede another kickoff goal. He's going to be the one scoring one. Completely delays his last second approach here. And the scoreline, I think it was 1-0 about a minute and 20 seconds ago. Now we've had 7 more goals. So almost a goal every 10 seconds after a very, very quiet back and forth at the start of the game. Go for it, says Mawkzy. Mid-air quick chat on his air dribble. And that's an all chat go for it. He's got the team chats in the all chat. You love to see it. Not able to pull it off though. But he has pre-jumped to deny Oski's flick. Oski had the backup plan now. Mawkzy's clapped him off the back wall, but not too far. Oski somehow recovered in quickly there. Now it's Mawkzy who has to half flip back into position. Can't get there. It's Oski who leads. What a crazy game of small margins. I mean, that was so close to just being a 50-50, so close to being Mawkzy crunching the challenge, and instead Oski just manages to sneak it past him. Can Mawkzy redeem himself? Pre-flips into the air dribble. Lands the bump, and the ball is on target. It wasn't completely clear that the ball would be onto the net after that touch there, but it wasn't even close to the post. Mawkzy says, no way I scored an aerial goal. It's been a while since he switched to the Fennec. He's been even more grounded. But yeah, the aerial's still looking pretty clean for him. He's trying to hide from Oski here. Doesn't want Oski to know where the challenge is coming from. Oski doesn't care. He's just going to lift the ball into the roof of the net from about ceiling height at the halfway line. Perfect air dribble. That last touch as well had so much power on it. Even though Mawkzy was coming in at a great rate, Nuts couldn't get there. Mawkzy says, chat, here's the rule. If you say something is cringe, prepare for more. Wait, what? What did you guys call cringe? I must have missed that. Oski has one reset to play with. And that's all he's going to need to go up by 2. Mawkzy better think of a good kickoff. And he better think of one now. Yeah, he messed up another flip there in the back corner. He's just trying to recover and grab boost before Oski's air dribble arrives. He overcomplicated it for no real reason. Oski trying to threaten that direct dribble into the net, but Mawkzy able to cut him off. We'll see on Oski's POV here exactly what he was trying to do, but he was trying to get Mawkzy to fear the direct shot from distance, but Mawkzy wasn't afraid of it. You could see from Oski's angle that there was never going to be a power shot from that position, and he just closed the distance immediately. Mawkzy trying to beat Oski to the boost. This time it's Oski coming away with it, but the heavy touch is going to actually give Mawkzy a chance to challenge. It's a great save, landing outside the net. Mawkzy shoots first time, threatening a demo in this position, but Oski has managed to survive. I think the wall saved him there. If that was Mawkzy driving around the side of the pitch, pretty sure he would have demoed Oski there, but he had to go up the wall to get him. That's a much better save this time from Oski. Turns the play around on its head and snipes a long shot in. You know, we often talk about the purpose of some shots in ones being to force a bad save out of the keeper, force them to land inside their goal, but that time Mawkzy's the player who landed inside the goal, showing that he really went quite all in there. Didn't have a follow-up planned. Oski equal to it by a larger margin. All he needs now is one possession play. Mawkzy trying to go for the airball shot. Oski blocked it. This is a massively winning position now for the Englishman. He's just about lost control of that ball though. That's going to give it one more try for Mawkzy. But he doesn't have a lot of time to waste, and he is going quickly. Air dribble bump being threatened, and it works. Oski tried to wait for Mawkzy to fly over him, and he waited a bit too long. And we are not done yet. 9 seconds is plenty time for Mawkzy, but he's got to come up with something here to get possession in his own hands. Wave dash is good. Boost is his. Possession is his as well. Oski managed to knock Mawkzy away from the play though, and drops the ball down for the series win. Well played, Oski. Mawkzy just taking a bit too long to flick the ball over his head at the end of that game. What an exciting series it was, but Oski edging it by 1 goal in the last game.